Alright, what's up, guys? So, PNDK&M, maybe PND, keyboard, and look, bro, I don't know. I don't know what these names are anymore. But anyways, they go on and upload a video titled 5 Pauses That Cause Chaos in Tournaments. That's a thing where you can pause in the middle of a tournament. I imagine there should be like rules and regulations with that. Nah, bro, I'd be mad where it's I don't know. I'm just gonna overall see what this video is all about. But if it's what I think it is, yeah, if I'm like a runner of like some tournament that's going on and somebody's like, oh, wait a second, I need to pause the game. No, you gonna play that game. If you gotta use the bathroom, tie a Gatorade bottle to your leg and handle your business like that. If it's a number 2, wear a diaper. A number 3, I don't even know what that is, but you figure it out, all right? But no, we ain't pausing nothing, all right? So, nah, let's go ahead and get into this video, guys. If you haven't, make sure you go subscribe to PNDK&M for more videos like this.
Pausing in casual video games is important. You never know what's going on while
at home, okay. Somewhere else, nah.
One is playing, and there could be a laundry list of reasons as to why they might need to take a sudden break. And this is no different in fighting games. Even more so, in fact, as this is where players will find important features such as the command list, options, and more. The problem here is that when we're talking about fighting game tournaments, pausing is explicitly not allowed. As a competitor, going outside of the match itself to interrupt the set in the middle of a round
is Mortal
against
Kombat?
the rules.
I see, because I don't be knowing, like, some of these fighting games, I wish they all had, like, a unique look to it, so I'd be like, oh, okay, I know what this game is, I know what that game is, I know. But no, this one looks, it looks fun.
It typically results in disqualification.
Yeah, I think, this is Mortal
forfeit.
Kombat.
Contrary to how this sounds, tournament matches being suddenly
more of
interrupted
Mortal
by
Kombat
pauses is all too frequent of a problem, and as you might guess, can cause some disastrous moments, as there is never a good time to have a high-level or high-stakes competitive match be suddenly paused out of nowhere. It's bad for the players, bad for the viewers, the commentators, the organizers.
Yeah.
Okay, it sucks for everyone.
Yeah.
But it does make for some memorable moments. Just maybe sometimes not for the right reasons. We are Ketchup and Mustard, and we're going to highlight 5 instances where a sudden unintentional pause caused
Is that... Hold on. I'm thinking it was like keyboard and mouse. It's ketchup and mustard. I like that better. I agree with that more than keyboard and mouse. Okay, anyways.
Chaos in tournament. If you like what you see here and want to stay up to date on our uploads and various fighting game related content, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to never miss a thing. Number 5. KIT 2017 Killer Shinnok vs SEMIJ. There's a lot to be said about the topic of matches being interrupted by the kinds of things in this video in general, but the example you're about to see is maybe the most common. This match was Killer Shinnok vs SEMIJ in Mortal Kombat X at Kumite in Tennessee 2017. Both players were on the top of their game, doing well in the event, and this was a match that everyone was super excited to see. The format was first to 3, and SEMIJ was up 2 games to 0. Things weren't looking good for Killer Shinnok, but he would go up a round in game 3, and then confirm a hit to take the momentum. And then...
I gotta keep my distance.
I'm trying to keep the space right where he wants it.
Oh.
Whoa! And that is the fault of the players, but luckily they're gonna get right through it. He was in the middle of a throwing dimension.
Controllers.
Yes.
Okay, looking good.
And tried something there. Maybe that's what he was
Bro,
doing.
what you got going on? I've never pressed the home button that many times while playing the game. I think there's like rare occasions when I ever do that. But it's like, the thing is this. I feel like I have like large hands. So hold on, let me get my controller real quick. So like, when I'm playing the game, bro, my hands is here the whole time. Yeah, but there's never been a time where I've had to press the home button. That's like where your hands are like, it has to be either covering it or you're doing it on purpose.
The players,
it's the fault of the players.
Blow them up.
That's
Whoa, putting the PS4 in the rest mode. Wow.
Someone did that on purpose.
Wow.
That's
wow.
That's hilarious. Someone just did that on purpose.
Wow. Wow.
This is what I mean when I say that this was this right here. Players using wireless controllers on a station, the following players not desyncing them, and then the previous player tries playing on a different machine, and boom, they've interrupted a match. The worst thing about this, though, is not only did we see the interrupt happen once, it then happened again, and then they literally turned the console off.
He is mad. Homie is mad.
The match was promptly restarted with the round up to kill a XINOK, and SEMIJ would eventually take the set 3-1. But if there's ever an example of getting in the habit of disabling previous wireless devices before you sit down to play on stream, let this be it.
That's crazy.
Number 4, Southeast Asia Major 2019, PENRITTI vs Noble. Next up is a bit of BB Tag, which funnily enough is actually the first time we've covered this series in any way on this channel. But I do wish it were for a more positive reason, as this is a classic example of how a good old-fashioned pause button can be a huge problem at the worst time. This was grand finals between PENRITTI and Noble. Two strong players to be sure, but PENRITTI in particular was coming into this after a hard-earned win in Dragon Ball FighterZ at the same tournament, which is where many of the more modern FGC crowd will recognize him from. And he was looking confidently poised to take his second first place at the same event. Not only was this grand finals, but it was also part of the
he got the old fashioned. That's cool though. That's cool.
World Tour. Basically the world championship for fighting games made by ArcSys. Previously seen with BlazBlue Central Fiction, and even in 2000.
I feel like it's like, no, let me go back. I feel like when he got this, it was like one of those things that was like handed down like from his dad or something. I feel like his dad had to been a gamer like back in the 80s, 90s or something, and this was just sitting in the closet. He's like, look, I know you ain't gotten into these games and stuff. Gotta hand you something for when you go into this competition. He handed him, this is pretty much like the golden controller, and he's like, I gotta win this. I gotta win this for dad. I gotta win this for everybody.
Games made by
he's
ArcSys.
like, I cannot
Previously
lose this game.
With BlazBlue Central Fiction, and even in 2022, we'll be featuring Guilty Gear Strive and DNF Duel. It's a big deal, and definitely something you'll feel close to when you're sitting in a grand final for one of its events. Noble would find himself down 2 games, but was relatively even in the third. That was until, well, this happened.
Stay for this, you can't just end it in 45 seconds. He got this thing. Oh!
Bruh!
He was the division with the pad players, a pad player. One of the pad players got him. Noble's freaking out.
And he just sitting there with it.
The match was paused, and suddenly
and he's like, fam, is you serious?
To be seen. Neither players or commentators knew what caused it. But after a
he
few
said we
minutes
could
of
go
talk
take
with
this
the
out in the
admins,
parking
it
lot
was
if you
that
really trying to do
unfortunately
something.
It was Noble who accidentally hit the pause button on the face of his stick. And as specifically stated in the rules,
was it him?
The match had to be given to his opponent. And thus, PENRITTI would win 3-0 and would end the tournament right there.
Dang.
Credit where it's due though, as PENRITTI was winning convincingly in the set as is, it's hard to assume the set would have ended any other way. But ultimately, we'll never know.
I mean, DQ. He beat him fair and square.
It's in the rules. It's in the rules.
You don't press pause.
Yeah.
Number 3, Nightmare SF versus GODSPEED, EVO 2013. Perhaps a lesser known example here, but one that deserves its spot in the list completely, due to the position in the bracket it was and what it means to most
that
fighting
was a
game
pretty good
competitors.
game.
Let's go back to EVO
2 was. I never did get
just
a
shy
chance
of
to play
10 years
Gods
ago
Among
saw
Us.
the debut year of Injustice Gods Among Us, the newest franchise by NetherRealm Studios and their follow-up game to the hugely successful MK9. This was an all-new fighting game that saw one of the largest mixed bags of players from all sorts of other fighting games at this very EVO. EVO wasn't too long after the game came out, and typically experienced fighting game players learn new games very quickly. So all eyes were on this tournament to see who would make the ever-idolized top 8 spot in this
Dang, homie,
breakout
how long
year.
you gonna follow?
Now fast forward to the top 16, where we see GODSPEED, who you may know from the MKX Pro League commentary desk in future years, versus Nightmare SF. Nightmare SF was definitely an unfamiliar face to the offline community at this time and was a prominent Batman player in the world of ranked matches. Always seen playing and usually high on the leaderboards in terms of overall matches played. This was a definite example of an online warrior taking a step into the world of offline. Unfortunately, with it came one of the problems that online doesn't suffer from. Pausing the match online, unintentionally or otherwise, doesn't actually stop the match. The same, however, cannot be said for offline, as we tragically saw a pause happen in the very last match of the set.
Equal in health. Black Adam with that pressure. Oh!
Yes,
Oh!
man.
Oh, no.
It didn't help matters that there was no confusion whatsoever as to who the pause came from, as Injustice literally tells you in writing who paused it. And given the circumstances, as the winner of this match makes EVO top 8, GODSPEED took the win and advanced forward in the bracket.
Wow.
What was assumed to have simply been an
like, fam, the thing is this, because I think like they do that because they're all like, oh, like no, I'm sorry, but they doing it to like mess the person up. Like, because on one game that like it didn't happen so much in fighting games, but like the sport games like FIFA, NBA 2K, not Madden, but like FIFA and NBA 2K, those are like the two games I watch a lot of content creators play. So after, like, no, they'll have it where, like, right before a person scores a goal, or right before somebody shoots a 3, then they want to, like, somebody knows that it's going to happen, then they want to pause the game. And I know with some games they have it, or I think it's FIFA, where they have it where it's like a time limit on the pause, and eventually it's like, you know, hey, you're going to have to unpause the game and stuff. But, yeah, like, that's why I think, like, I'm checking this video out, because I'm like, I didn't realize it was going on in the fighting game community too. I'm like, dang, bruh, what you guys got going? Look, my thing is this: if you know you're gonna take a L, take it, all right? Or either leave the game, or just take the L. But I'm like, don't have it where it's like you're gonna keep pausing the game and messing the person up and things. Because I guarantee and I promise you, if it wasn't a rule, if there was like, no, that's something that we encourage, that's something that, you know, we don't care about, yeah, there'd be people doing that all through. There'd be a full-blown fight happening in one of these tournaments.
This one definitely sucks to see, given the gravity.
He's so mad. He's so mad.
Number 2, GAMERBEE versus MOMOCHI EVO 2050. Okay, be honest, you all knew this one was coming, and why wouldn't it? Oh, this one really hurts to watch back. Oh, man. Right, alright, okay. EVO 2015, GAMERBEE versus MOMOCHI. Ultra Street Fighter 4 Grand Final.
I was about to say, I was like, yeah, because I saw a dude in the back, and I'm like, yeah. he's ready. He is ready.
Last game of the event, packed out ballroom. Ketchup and I are watching in person, as this is the same event that he got the top 8
controllers are nice, though.
And we are pumped to watch this final, as we were super into Street Fighter 4 as fans at the time. As is the entire thousands and thousands strong crowd. It's part of the Capcom Pro Tour. Street Fighter 4 at EVO always delivers the hype, and it is a highlight of the year for countless fans worldwide. The set begins. MOMOCHI's in winners, GAMERBEE is in losers. They begin and deliver some of the best Street Fighter 4 we have ever seen. The set goes on for over 30 minutes. GAMERBEE has reset the bracket. We're at the final stretch. It's Game 5. We're about to crown an EVO champion. And
Point from MOMOCHI. He has to win these 2 rounds.
Bruh. Oh, wow.
No, James. No, James. Not like this. Not like this.
oh, it's just so awful, isn't it? Like, I feel so bad for them.
Yeah, because that crowd went crazy.
This was hands down the worst time for anything like this to happen, and it did. You can see it in their faces. It's just so heartbreaking, and I really can't put it into words any better than Seth Killian can, honestly.
No, James. No, James. Not like this.
I was there, and believe me, the dismay you hear from the audience in the video really doesn't do it justice. Everyone just felt so bad for MOMOCHI and GAMERBEE, and it turns out that it was MOMOCHI's stick just disconnecting itself for no reason. After much discussion, the admins awarded the round to GAMERBEE, and they played out the final round, ultimately leading to MOMOCHI taking the tournament. This will always be the most heartbreaking to me, as it truly felt like a complete 1 in a million situation. Neither player physically hit pause, no external player interrupted, nothing. It was just a random hardware malfunction out of nowhere.
That's messed up, man. Yeah, sometimes those controllers, I had a controller where the trigger button would get stuck. So there was a time where I was playing because I don't know if people, if you don't really know too much about other games and y'all just here for the fighting games, but there is a game out there called Destiny, and my character in the game, he's holding a gun, trigger button gets stuck, he's just sitting there shooting, just going crazy, and I'm like, bruh, I I don't know what, like, I don't know how this even happens. How does this button get? Yeah, there's at times where, like, controllers, they just, you know, that's why I recommend, because those, like, the 2 controllers that I got right now for both my Xbox and PlayStation, I got the Xbox Elite controller, so that's, like, the high-end controller. That's the controller that costs the most, cost almost $200, and then I got me a PlayStation 5 controller, like, because they don't really make too many different PlayStation controllers. It wasn't like how it was back in the day where you could, like, go to GameStops, they just had like a whole wall, like an arsenal of just nothing but like a bunch of different types of controllers. Now I just feel like they just got like the same, you know, basic controllers. But yeah, I recommend, like, if you want like a good controller, you're gonna have to spend some money for it. So, and I'm pretty sure it looked like those controllers are like expensive, but that's the thing, you never really know.
Ryan Hart versus GANDIDO, EVO 2008. There is a reason I've left this until last. I figured we'd all be feeling rather sad after the previous entry and thought this video should end on a positive note. This is my favorite example of a pause happening in a match, as it becomes a feel-good moment where so many others end up just being plain miserable. Once again, it's EVO 2008 to be exact, so we're going back for this one.
Yeah,
but that's because it's the grand finals for Tekken 5, featuring video game Hall of Famer Ryan Hart facing off against GANDIDO. Another instance of a last game situation. Once again, the unthinkable happens and someone hits the home button, interrupting the final match of the grand final.
Hell's Feet, Ryan Hart with a comeback.
Bruh.
As Ryan Hart's
on my
device
birthday
didn't have a home
at
button,
that,
the judges assumed that it must have been GANDIDO at fault, and were about to award the tournament to Ryan on the back of it. However,
I'd be so mad, like, I'm going to see this on my birthday and things. I'm like, man, I've been waiting all this time to see this fight go down. All of a sudden, that happens.
This is where he showed arguably one of the greatest displays of sportsmanship the FGC had seen at the time, and he refused the win, firmly requesting that the match be replayed again, as he didn't want to win on a technicality. I spoke to Ryan Hart about this, and it's probably best to hear a quote from him here. Everyone looked lost and confused when the pause happened, me included. It was the final game at 2-2 and the final round of the first set. I was in the winner's bracket. The judges deemed my opponent wrong and were about to award me the win and the EVO trophy. I stood up and said, "No, not like this. Let us replay the match. I don't want to win this way." The judges then let us replay the match, as I refused to accept a win like that.
That's
Ryan
good.
then proceeded
That's
to
good.
win the rematch and secure his first place in Tekken 5 at that year's EVO, reminding us all why he is one of the greatest and my personal FGC hero. It was then discovered months down the line that it wasn't actually GANDIDO's stick that pressed the home button. It was someone in the crowd. So this story could very well have gone a different direction had it not been...
See, that's the man. Yeah, I definitely have it where it's like, no, if we doing one of these competitions, I'm like, no. I have like a metal detector and have it where it's like, no, if you see anybody with a controller, no. I'm like, that's something where I'm like, yeah, you have your controller waiting in your car. If you want like an autograph signing, okay, we'll try to work some stuff out, but have it where it's like, no, or have it where it's like, okay, for the duration of the game, have it where it's like, no, you leave that stuff in the car. Then it's like, if you want like your controller to get signed, then after the competition is over, then you can come bring in your controller, we'll sign it and all that stuff. But yeah, we ain't doing that. So yeah, that ain't gonna happen. Cause yeah, I can see people doing stuff, they want to be in the crowd messing up the game. I'm like, that can't work with me.
Reinhardt's sportsmanship in hindsight. And that's 5 instances of a pause causing chaos in tournaments. Quite a mixed selection, I know, but it never gets easier to deal with. And when you're next at a tournament, make sure to delete those wireless devices, enable pause delay if it exists, make sure your USB cable is up to scratch, and generally do anything sensible to avoid this happening to you at a future event.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That people, you know, they'll do stuff like that, especially the ones that's doing it on purpose too, but... yeah, that's crazy, man. But yeah, no, it's that, I'm telling you, that is an actual thing. People will literally, they will do stuff like that on purpose. And I don't know, like I said, I don't know how many times I saw it in like FIFA and NBA 2K videos. Like, no, you'll see, I'm telling you, you'll probably find some videos just like this, but it's like FIFA and 2K and stuff. So, but no, this was a pretty good video. Make sure if you guys haven't, go subscribe to PNDK&M for more videos like this. Like, subscribe to me too, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.